Hello and welcome to another Final Cut Pro 10 tutorial. In this tutorial we're actually going to be taking a look at the XEffects camera transitions collections, which is part of iDustrial Revolution's series of XEffect transitions. Now it's a plugin that is installed through Noise Industries FX Factory, which is actually a really great platform to manage your plugins, allowing you to register new plugins and deactivate or activate trials and purchase plugins. If we just take a look at FX Factory, you can see that we can easily tick some of these boxes, and that will give us access to trials of all of these great plugins, and then we can decide, or you can decide whether you want to purchase these plugins and use them. And it's a great platform. And as you can see here under Industrial Revolution, we can see the XEffects camera plugin is active. So if we close out of here and go back into Final Cut, now this plugin basically includes 28 transition effects exclusively for Final Cut Pro 10, and it's basically a series of camera and film and projector related transitions which you can use to obviously enhance your project. Now we're actually taking a look here at the a behind the scenes video for my upcoming short film Audition. This is the third episode of Behind the Scenes, which will be up in a week or two. And so to find the effects, you just go over to the transition tab over here, and you can see that we've actually got an XEffects camera option or filter, and here are all our camera transitions. Now what I like about these transitions is the fact that they are extremely customizable. You can change a lot of the color of them, loads of different elements of them, so you can actually use them repetitively but make them look like new transition each time, which is excellent and very useful. So if we head over to this point in my timeline, there's a bit where my brother takes a picture of me in the behind the scenes. We just take a look.
How do I look? You look absolutely disgusting, and no one should ever see that picture ever again.
Then it cuts to the picture of me, and this is obviously a perfect opportunity to throw in a camera-related transition. And I'm actually going to go one further and show you a way to enhance these transitions to another level. So if we scroll through here, you can see there's a camera iris transition, and if we just scrub over here, you can see we get a preview. Now this is a really cool transition, and like most of the transitions, it's really customizable. But one of the things that I like to do, if you actually want to get a really realistic effect rather than just a simulated effect, is just to shorten the transition. If you didn't see how I did that, basically you double click to open the transition, the precision editor, and you can just scale in the borders of this to decrease the transition. And if we just frame through it, you can just make sure that we haven't got rid of too many important frames. Basically you just want to make sure it still closes. And there you go. And if we just now select this transition, you can see that in the inspector panel, by clicking on this button here, we can load up the inspector. You can see that we've got loads of customizable options, including the color of the blades, which we can tint using this, obviously loads of great color meters, or you could literally just play around with the RGB channels until you find something you like a slightly red transition. I think it's going to be nice and edgy. You can change the blade edge width, so you can make these lines obviously thicker. I actually like the standard one. The light intensity, obviously in terms of how bright it's going to be lit up, and then you've also got the angle and the softness of the transition of the iris thing. There you go. I got it out eventually. And if we just play this back,
you should never see that picture ever again.
You can see that that looks absolutely lovely, and the added speed helps make it feel like a snap rather than a slower moving transition as the default speed depicts. But one of the ways that we can actually take this even further is if we use a camera sound effect. Now you can easily find these online, I'm sure, and drag that into our timeline as well and line that up with our transition. It will actually feel like a real camera snap, and it will give some depth and some sound response to the transition you're seeing. So let's just take a look now.
Oh look, you look absolutely disgusting, and no one should ever see that picture ever again.
And there you have it. I'm actually going to decrease the volume of that a little bit because it's a bit threatening.
Ever again.
Perhaps even a couple more nozzles. There we go.
again.
And there we go. And as you can see, we've used sound to enhance the XEffects transitions, which is great, and I'd strongly recommend trying to do that. If we just take a look at a couple more of these transitions, just to give you an idea, you can obviously download the trial, which I would recommend doing. There's a 35mm one, which I rather like. This one here is really cool, and what I love about this one is the fact that you can actually choose the other frames, and you'll see what I mean by that. So you can see, if we just look at the default transition, what he does, you can see it drops out, moves across, and goes to another one. You can actually even customize the numbers, these numbers up here that specify the frame number. But this is my favourite thing, the fact that we've actually got these two drop heads here, so we can choose what neighbouring frames are seen. So you can see there's a frame here that can be seen, and as the camera moves along, there's a frame here as well. We can drag this, and you can see that we're changing that frame like that. And what I want to do is change this one, because what I don't want is this picture to be the same as this picture. So let's go back to whatever the previous clip was. Just zoom out of the timeline here. And there we go. There's even a handy button if you want to watch the tutorial on how to use this. Isn't that nice? You can also change the direction of the way this moves as well, and the acceleration of how fast it moves. So if we now play this back,
Very emotional reaction to what he does. What should you never do, Tom? What's that?
And if you want to know what you should never do, then obviously check out the behind the scenes videos. There will be a link in the description, as there will be for this plugin for Final Cut Pro 10. So there are a few others as well. One of the ones that I really like, just because I'm into this sort of cool transition-y stuff, especially for behind the scenes, because obviously you can't, I don't feel you can, if you're making a dark horror narrative, you perhaps don't get the freedom to use some of these more fanciful transitions, but for behind the scenes stuff, I absolutely love it. There's actually a 16mm one here, so what I'm going to do is drag that onto here, and now we've added a transition between this bit, which you've obviously already seen, and then that 16mm flies up over and to the next shot. And this actually works really well in this instance, because I've actually got a bit of a montage going on. There's like some super fast clips, and then there's transitions between the different clips, and that sort of works throughout this little montage area to some music by Forever After. And you can see that we then cease the pictures that were being taken for this section. And here is the sound effect again, which we're obviously going to drop the levels for, like so. And there you have it. That is how it all goes down. That is just a brief overview. Obviously there's loads of different ones, as you can see, including some leaders, which are cool. But go ahead, download the trial, let me know what you think. But I see it as a really cool artistic way of enhancing especially these behind the scenes videos, and also I'd strongly recommend the whole using sound to heighten the transitions as well, and the experience of the transitions. So thanks for watching. Remember to check out my upcoming short film behind the scenes videos for Audition, auditionshort.com, and to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, because I mean there's loads of you on this YouTube channel, but if you follow me on Facebook and Twitter, you get updates about when new tutorials are coming out, what new films are coming out that I'm working on, and you can join the discussion. And I do polls on what tutorials you guys want to see, because obviously Facebook gives you the interactivity to ask you guys questions and you guys can vote. The transition pack is $49, which isn't very much if you think you've paid $300